Dead Cells is the acclaimed, incredibly fun roguelike title released by Motion Twin Studio back in 2018. I have played the game on and off for 3 years and I had a blast.
Oh! Greed! Oh, shit!
During my time spent with the game, I managed to get around 80% achievement completion. I have also finished the game on normal difficulty as well as one boss cell active, which actually isn't anything particularly hard. There are numerous harder challenges awaiting within the base game. Motion Twin is a very devoted studio. Each year they release a couple of meaningful updates for their game, with bigger paid DLCs being the main content drops inviting players to come back to Dead Cells. And each of those updates usually adds new achievements. So seeing as my achievement progression dropped to levels below 60% scratched my completionist urges. This year was perfect for returning to the game as developers just released their newest DLC, being a collaboration between Dead Cells and Castlevania. But before I can even attempt return to Castlevania DLC, I want to complete previous content updates. So here comes my achievement challenge focusing on the Queen and the Sea DLC. Oh, this one's already gone. No, this one is already gone. That's good, it's good, I'm learning her patterns. No! I'm doing really fine. For this challenge, I want to finish the DLC, get every achievement introduced with the update, complete some older trophies from the base game, and develop my Dead Cells skills by completing a run with 2 boss cells active. First things first, coming back after a long break requires a little bit of relearning. I've completed a couple of runs through various biomes just to remind myself of the game's mechanics and to reacquaint myself with Dead Cells gameplay. Each run resets the character progression, inviting players to experiment with their builds. The game allows for some crazy build making options. Player collects scrolls, increasing character capabilities in one of 3 different categories. Brutality, marked by red color, focusing mostly on melee weapons. Direct damaging skills and grenades. Tactics, marked by purple color. This one mostly refers to ranged weapons as well as turrets. Survival is the green school of builds. It enhances big slow weapons, shields and defensive abilities. In my runs, I focused mostly on brutality and tactics. Survival felt too slow for me. That one looks good for the tactics build, and I'm gonna take this one. No! Nope. No. I'm gonna get cursed. For nothing. For money. What? Okay. Okay, that's good. No. Whoa. First challenge goal. Complete the DLC. It requires to defeat the game's new end boss, the Queen. She resides atop of the Lighthouse, one of the new locations. I actually played this DLC a year ago when it launched, but for some reason I haven't finished it. Okay, now I remember. The Queen and the Sea adds 2 new late game biomes into the game. Infested Shipwreck is a huge biome. This zone connects big multi-story partially sunken deck compartments with long narrow corridors. But the real stars are the two new enemy types, Armored Shrimps and Mutineers. Mutineers throw heavy anchor, dealing massive amounts of damage. It's also not enough to just dodge after they start preparing their anchor throw, as they keep on targeting the player. You have to dodge after the anchor is being thrown. Armored Shrimps like to hide within the rotten egg parts, slowly chasing players wherever they go. Infested Shipwreck is awesome. It offers a distinct feeling, challenging encounters, and its sheer massive size allows for farming additional gold if you want to refine your build before attempting the final challenge.
I need a good weapon. Come on. Of course, blood sword.
The lighthouse can be accessed only from the Infested Shipwreck. This biome is very special as it's pretty much one long continuous boss fight. Player is chased through the level by 3 bosses and also by fire. The servants appear and challenge player gradually. Calliope is the first one to chase the player. After short climb, you have to defeat her. But that's not all. She will then be joined by her sisters and they will challenge the player 2 more times. The last fight against all 3 is really hectic. The cool thing is that you can DPS the servants down to half of their HP during chase sections, which will make the combat sections easier. I'm not gonna lie. It took me 5 or 6 tries before I learned the attack patterns and was able to defeat servants for the first time. After that I kinda got good at it. Still, I think that the servants boss fight is one of the hardest in the game. After defeating the servants, player can collect themselves and try to refine their build for the last time before reaching the crown. The top of the lighthouse is the battle area against the queen. In my opinion, she is much easier than the servants, as I was not only able to one-shot her, but I also managed to snatch an additional achievement on my first try. Queen uses couple of lunging sword attacks. They are really well telegraphed. From time to time she might use a fire wave attack which can be rolled through. At certain HP thresholds, Queen is going to use her reality slash attack. She slashes the screen multiple times, leaving glowing blue lines. Each time they light up, they deal damage. Those lines can be dodged or rolled through. You cannot parry it with a shield. At 75% HP, Queen is slashing the screen 5 times. At 50% it's 10 slashes, and then at 25% is 30 slashes, but this time they all appear at once. It's very chaotic and might even seem frightening, but a well-timed roll nullifies this attack. So as I said, I one-shot the queen, but as I got her to low HP, I remembered that there is achievement for killing her by throwing her off the top of the lighthouse. How to do that? Well, there are a couple of ways. If you have killed the ranged bow-using servant in previous fight as the last one, then you had unlocked the Gilded Yumi, a bow which strongly pushes enemies, bosses included. So the trick is to get the queen to low HP and shoot at her when she's close to the edge. To make it even easier, you can get to the edge and jump. Yes, it will some damage to you, but when your character will respawn, the queen is going to stay just at the edge of the lighthouse, exactly where you stood before you jumped. With queen dead, it was time to grind. Numerous best game and DLC achievements require specific weapons to be unlocked in order to get the achievement. Most of those weapons have a really low drop percentage. The new companion, Leghugger, can be unlocked in a brand new room in Stilled Village. With addition of Owl and Mushroom Boy, it makes getting the Herder achievement easier. Also, Leghugger will be needed for 2 other achievements. In a crazy Dead Cells fashion, this DLC adds a new weapon being an actual shark. It also has a trophy tied to it. Every third attack with this weapon sends the shark at the enemy, so in order to set it free, you need to throw the shark into the pool of water. Naturally, I chose one of the smallest spawns I could find. Pirate captains in Stealth Village can drop 2 new weapons needed for the achievements. The good thing is that after finally getting Scavenged Bombard, you can finally enforce your revenge upon them. Black flag. The Queen and the Sea offers 2 trophies tied to cosmetic items and bosses. Players have to defeat all of the lighthouse encounters while wearing the servant outfit and defeat the queen while wearing queen's outfit. Both of those cosmetic items drop from their respective bosses on the second kill.
Boom. Okay. That would be so good if I wasn't hit before. And again, anyways, queen against queen. We're done. And her.
Now let me tell you about the real grind. I've decided that a hitless attempt on the queen is within my grasp, and that it would be the perfect end to this challenge. But it cannot be that simple. As queen is the last boss, I tried to get kills without receiving any damage on all bosses encountered in a run. I already had the achievements for Concierge, Timekeeper and the Giant, so I focused my runs on Conjunctivius, Mama Tick, Scarecrow and of course the queen. Why have I skipped the servants? Because I think that trying to get no damage achievement on that fight would take too much time, the time I don't have right now. Whenever I got a decent tactic start, I would go through the sewers to Conjunctivius. When I got a nice brutality starting pack, I would go into Dilapidated Arboretum and try my luck on Mama Tick. Later I would head for Scarecrow and then finally into Infested Shipwreck and then the Lighthouse. Out of all of the bosses, the Scarecrow is the easiest to score a flawless achievement. Strong builds allow to DPS him down before he'll be able to use any advanced abilities, making it a simple fight. DPS roll to the other side, DPS roll to the other side.
0 damage.
Conjunctivius was a challenge. It's not the hard boss, on the contrary, it's one of the easiest ones. I'm just so bad at dodging the tentacles that spawn during the fight, and it's so frustrating.
Okay, all I need to do is to focus. All and my traps should do the trick. I just need to hide while the tentacles are going to attack, and that's all. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Oh my god! Conjunctivius, another try. So far so good, I need to get ready. Pretty much I just cannot get hit by those tentacles. There's a spot to cheese this fight out a little bit. I especially take... No! Fuck! Come on!
Nope.
No! Last try! Fuck you! Fuck you!
This close! My builds for this boss focused on ranged weapons. Conjunctivius floats around the area. Trying to hit him with melee weapon is bothersome. Another cool addition came in the form of Crow's Foot. Leaving caltrops, damaging and slowing, tentacles proved to be invaluable. Finally I was able to cheese the fight by using turrets and climbing the walls.
Okay, this is the run. Come on. I'm ready for you. Come. Oh. Okay. Okay. Come on. Okay. Wait. Yes, that's it, come on. That's the achievement. Final.
Mama Tick poses a similar challenge to Conjunctivius. Even though quick stabs give you this question mark warning before appearing, they are just too fast. To this day, I was not able to complete the trophy. I was close though.
Come on, Mama Tick. Let's do it. Okay. Ah, shit! No.
The countless tries spent on each boss took their toll on me. As a way of cooling off, I began running 2 boss cells difficulty. It required more refined builds and planning. I could no longer YOLO my way and hunt for specific weapon sets. In here, money counts, and sometimes players have to use the resources they've got. Fortunately for me, after a couple of tries I was able to score this run.
Either this one or the last one. Let's take the last one. Thank God, let's get piercing bullets.
Kill the Duni. Holy shit, it's cool.
Electric whip. Let's go for support. This is all or nothing. Got it. Easy. Fuck me. Wow, so crazy. So hectic. Tactics. Weapons. My snake fangs are already level 8? Oh no, Bertie! No, 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 no! Oh, go away, Bertie! Go away! Let me reroll. Burning target. Ooh. Ew, shit. Now I did myself dirty. Holy fuck. I'm gonna take twice the damage. Come on. Drink. No. I did it. 2 BC on last half. Oh. Holy fuck. Wow.
The last obstacle on my way was defeating the queen without taking damage. I already got some close tries, so I knew I'm not far from getting the achievement. Shit.
Ay. Shit. Don't tell me that that's gonna be my only mistake. No, that's gonna be my only mistake.
Shit.
Too greedy.
Then I got a perfect run. Extremely strong build with snake fangs. Weapons most favored by me at this time. I also just unlocked Killing Deck, which reminded me that I missed an achievement requiring defeating the queen with this weapon. It was perfect. I just had to DPS down the boss with snake fangs, dealing double damage. Yeah, I was about to take double damage, but you know, I can't get hit, so it doesn't matter, right? Then the last hit has to be done with the deck. 2 remaining achievements done in the same time. I just had to run through the lighthouse first.
Come on, Calliope. Oh, I forgot to die. Clear.
I hate the lighthouse. Anyways, after a few more close calls, I refined my Snake Fangs build and finally was able to get the triumphant run.
Damage should carry itself, to be honest. Holy shit. Does it? That was so much damage. Wow. Flawless. There's the achievement.
That concludes my The Queen and the Sea achievement challenge. But stay tuned, I'm not done with Dead Cells yet.